Welcome back to my YouTube channel, where I review the best of books written by the best of authors, giving summaries, advice, and a general idea if this book is right for you or not. Today we'll be reviewing the Finding Langston Trilogy by Lisa Klein Ransom. Each of these three books take place in roughly the same time zone. The first book, Finding Langston, is centered around Langston, a boy from the Alabama countryside. Langston's mother had just recently died, so his father decided that they should move to Chicago, leaving friends, family, and 11 years of Langston's life behind. The second book, Leaving Lyman, is centered around Lyman, a boy whose father is in prison and mother has left him. Lyman grows up with his grandma, who he calls Ma, and his grandpa, who he calls Grandpops. When his grandpa dies, Lyman's grandma becomes heartbroken, suffering emotionally from losing her husband and physically from diabetes. Lyman's relatives can't afford to feed him, so they send him to Chicago to live with his mother. The third and last book, Being Clem, is about Clem, a smart boy with two annoying sisters and a depressed mother. Ever since Clem's father died at the Port Chicago disaster, Clem has been trying to become his father, learning how to swim and coping with hard times at school in Chicago. As all three end up in Chicago and happen to go to the same school, Clem becomes friends with Lyman, who beats up the school bully Curtis. Lyman gets slapped and beaten by his mother's husband every day at home, which drives him to do something terrible to Langston, whom he calls Country Boy. The Port Chicago disaster killed 320 people and injured 390 people. This massive disaster was caused by the explosions of two ammunition ships on July 17, 1944. The Port Chicago disaster didn't happen in Chicago, Illinois, but the Port Chicago near San Francisco in California. Overall, these books were a wonderful read. Being able to view the story from three different angles really intrigued me into this trilogy. Now that you know a basic summary of this trilogy, Finding Langston, you can decide for yourself if this series interests you or not.